In this lesson, we're going to review the timeline Gantt chart function. The Gantt chart breaks down the structure of a project into different milestones and presents them in a graphical form. It includes the start and the finish dates. Excel doesn't offer a Gantt chart as a built-in chart type right now, so the way in which you need to create it is a manual process. But we're going to review how to create it in Microsoft Excel by customizing a stack bar chart type. To create a Gantt chart from a given data set, we need to execute on the below steps. First, I'm going to show you how a Gantt chart looks as a final product. So as you can see on screen here, this is an example of a Gantt chart which shows certain activities over a period of time, and it shows the start and end duration with the timeline at the bottom. Of course, it can be customized to achieve the desired result. As you can see at the bottom of the screen here, we've removed certain areas of the start time from the Gantt chart so that it shows in sequence each of the activities without any overlap. So the example that we're going to use in this case is the audit of the financial statements of a company. And we've got different milestones and activities that occur throughout the financial statement audit. There's the contract signing, the kickoff meeting, the fieldwork phase 1, 2, and 3, the manager's review, partner's review, and audit report. As you can see in the Gantt chart, we've customized the view to include each of these milestones, and the activities are in sequential order with the dates along the top and then the title of the Gantt chart called Audit of JBL Inc. Let's take a look at an example and figure out how we can recreate this Gantt chart within Excel. So the example we have is that we're preparing the financial statement audit from start to finish of JBL. The partner of the audit engagement has asked that we present the plan at our kickoff meeting and show the project timeline in the Gantt chart. So we've got a table that we created of the different start dates of all the activities that need to be performed throughout the duration of the financial statement audit. It starts on June 1st and the duration is noted in column E in terms of the number of weeks it's going to take in order to complete each activity. So contract signing takes 2 days. The kickoff meeting occurs on June 3rd, and then fieldwork begins on June 5th, 2 days later. The fieldwork phase 1 lasts 10 days. Phase 2 lasts another 10 days. Phase 3 lasts 10 days as well. And then there's the management review for 5 days, the partner review for 3 days, and the audit report is issued 2 days later. So it's a pretty quick turnaround on the financial statement audit. But if we want to get a visual representation of what this looks like in a Gantt chart, here are the steps that we need to follow. The first thing that we need to do is we need to select the data which exists in the table above. So we're going to select C16 through E24. Then on the Insert tab, we're going to click on the column chart type, and then we're going to click on the stacked bar. As you can see, there are a few different options that occur when we click on the bar chart. If we want to look at the stacked bar, then we're going to look at the 2D bar, and we're going to click on the one in the middle here. If we hover over it, we can see it's called stacked bar. When we click on that, it creates a bar chart. A bar chart is just a horizontal column chart. So I'm going to drag this down, and we're going to further customize it. So we can get it into the desired format by customizing this bar chart. The first thing that we want to do is we want to give it a title. So I'm going to call it Audit of JBL Inc. I did that by double clicking on the title and just renaming it. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the legend at the bottom and press delete because I don't want that to appear there. I don't want the dates at the bottom. The next thing that I need to do is I need to rearrange the milestones because right now they're in reverse order, and I've got the different steps laid out in this Excel workbook which you'll have. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the order. As you can see right now it shows audit report at the top, contract signing at the bottom. That's actually in reverse order because the first step is contract signing. The last step of a financial statement audit is issuing the audit report. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the milestones, and then on the right side of the screen I can see an option appears for format axis, and I'm going to click on categories in reverse order, and that'll reverse everything for me. Now that that's done, I can move on. The result is what you see on screen here. And the next step is to remove the blue bars so that I can show the data in sequential order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the blue bars, and then when I double click on them, I can go to the bucket fill, click on the fill button, and then click no fill. When I do that, the fill disappears and I'm just left with the orange fill. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back the dates, but I'm going to put them on the top. So I'm going to click on the plus button at the top here. Then I'm going to click on the arrow beside axes, and I'm going to show the primary horizontal axis, which is the dates. And I'm going to click on the dates next to adjust the dates. If I want this to appear properly, I need to adjust these start dates. As you can see, it's not properly working. So I'm going to right click on the dates, and then I'm going to click on Format Axes, and I'm going to format the axes to fix the minimum and maximum bounds to the nearest dates. Because as you can see on screen here, it defaulted to some random dates for a minimum maximum. And this is the important thing to remember. The trick here is to put in the start and the end date of the milestones within Excel. So let's go back up to our table and see what that is. Well, we know that the start date of the first milestone is on June 1st, 2019 for the contract signing, and the last date is July 17th, 2019. So if I put those into Excel, so June 1st and July 17th, and I do that in cells C49 and C50, if I convert those to a number, I can see that they're equal to 43,617 and 43,666. How did I get that? Well, I can just put in a formula here that says equals and then the left cell, and then copy that down and switch the type to number, remove the decimal places, and I've now got numbers that are associated with dates. So what I want to do is I want to use those numbers when I switch the minimum and the maximum boundaries for this axis. So I'm going to right click on the date header, click Format Axes, and then copy these numbers into the minimum maximum boundaries. So let's go back in there, click Format, and I'm going to type in 43,617 for minimum, and for maximum I'm going to type in 43,663, and then I'm going to close it out. And as you can see on screen here, it's starting to look better. However, the maximum boundary is running out of space on the right side there, so I'm going to add a little bit of buffer. If I go back to Format Axes, I'm going to put in 43,665 to give it a little bit of buffer. And when I do that, you can start to see the next milestone bar appear. I'm going to go back in one more time and give it a little bit more buffer because it still doesn't look the way in which I want it to be. So I'm going to click on the date header, Format Axis, and then I'm going to try 43,667. I'm going to click away and we can see it update. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add back some grid lines so that I can see the background, how they line up to the dates. And I do that by going to the right navigation pane, clicking on horizontal, value, axes, major grid lines, and then giving it a solid line. I'm going to give it a little bit of transparency, and I'm going to color it gray, and then I'm going to click away. If I close the right navigation pane, then I can see the result of the Gantt chart, and it's starting to look better. So I can get a sense here that the contract signing is in early June. That's going to last until probably June 3rd by the looks of it. Then on June 3rd through maybe June 5th, it looks like the kickoff meeting occurs. Kickoff meeting looks like it occurs from June 5th through June 15th. And then you can see the next stages of activities through the Gantt chart. All of this looks accurate. I can go ahead and I could modify this some more. If I wanted to, I could double click on the Gantt chart and apply some of the presets that exist at the top. But in this case, I think it's better to customize the Gantt chart because we've created a unique Gantt timeline chart. We can customize it using the right navigation pane. If we were to look at some of the template options that appear in the top navigation pane, when I hover over them, it shows a preview and it actually brings back those blue bars that I don't want. The final result is at the bottom of the screen here. We can see what I had previously prepared for the audit of JBL. This is the Gantt chart that I decided was an appropriate style after some customization. Again, you're going to have a copy of this workbook to be able to see how it's set up and the steps that are outlined in this lesson, but in a matter of about 5 minutes or so, you can create your own Gantt timeline chart for your own project management and then customize the look and feel of it as you see fit. So hopefully this was a helpful lesson to you and you can start implementing this into your project management activities going forward. Hey guys, thanks for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe from you. And if you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel, check out these videos above. And don't forget to check out our website, commercecurve.com, where we have lots of in-depth finance and accounting courses available with full training workbooks. All of our courses come with complete workbooks of lessons, examples, pre-built financial models, and training video. Hope to see you there.